Hi, you guys. So I just wanted to come on and touch on some topics. I also wanted to say that I'm probably going to start going over to my other channel a little more. First of all, there's a lot of stuff that's on this channel. Probably it should be over there in the rant room anyway. But I just, for whatever reason, when I go live, I just continue to come over here. And now that I can upload my videos, I will probably start doing what my intentions was to upload videos over here and then go live in the rant room. That was the intention. But then for whatever reason, I wasn't able to upload my videos for those months. So that's why I've been going live over here. So I'm going to go live over here today, but I'll probably start going live over there and then just uploading videos on this channel. And I'm also going to start the membership really soon as well, because they finally gave me access to that. So you guys can email me and let me know if there's stuff that you want to talk about. If you want to come on the platform and talk about whatever you can on here. But I'm going to start going live over there because I need to work on that channel anyway. And it's called The Rant Room. Um, I think when you put it in, there's some other people, you guys know that there are people with the same titles. Everybody can come up with the same name, not realizing other people have it. So you usually can tell. I'll probably put a link in my community tab. That way, if you guys want to follow that channel as well, you can find it. So you'll be able to find it. But I think there is some other pages called Red Rooms or the Red whatever that might come up as well. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about some stories that are out here. And I have my headsets on. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. Um, I wanted to start by talking about, I think the story that I probably have the least to say is the whole Gillie and Baby going in Rick Ross. I don't have a whole lot to say on that. I just thought that was interesting that came up. I know Baby have been having back and forth with Rick Ross already over that whole Lil Wayne situation where he and Lil Wayne were going through whatever over money that Lil Wayne claimed that he owed him. And so, people were getting involved in that conversation who probably should not have been in the conversation. And Rick Ross was one of those people. And I understand people have relationships with people, friendships, whatever. Um, Still, I feel like, especially when something is a public battle, people probably should stay out of people's business. Because as you guys can see, Lil Wayne and Baby are talking. I still call him Baby Birdman, whatever y'all calling him. I'm not gonna be keeping up with all these names. Okay, I don't know these people personally, so they don't need to worry about what I'm calling them anyway. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I just feel like people should stay out of people's stuff. And a lot of people were saying that even back then because people were trying to defend Lil Wayne or, kiss up for whatever reason. And you should just stay out of people's stuff because he came under Baby as a little boy. So his relationship with him is different than people who may just sign with some label. Their relationship is a different relationship. And so they can have issues and still next week or next month, next year, move past it because what they have, is bigger than just a business relationship. And that's why I feel like stuff like that people really should stay out of. Right? That's just what I think. That's just like siblings or certain people that are in the industry and you guys know that they're related to each other and they may fall out for whatever reason. People shouldn't get in that, right? That's just my opinion. Parents, the children and the parents, I feel like other celebrities should stay out of that because, just like 50 and his son, like any day, these people could move beyond whatever the issue is because that is his son at the end of the day. And so it's stuff like that. I feel like it's one thing for the public. They don't know us. We saying stuff. They don't know us. So the first thing they gonna start screaming about, y'all don't have this, y'all don't have that. They ain't gonna hit back or whatever on us. But when it's another celebrity doing that, that can become something else, right? It then takes on another look, because these people they sometimes may find themselves having to work with each other or deal with each other in some kind of way, right? Or somebody might have a project where they want to put all these different, which people don't do that anymore the way they used to, where you will have someone want to have all these different rappers or singers on one song. You don't see people do that anymore. But if it was a situation to come up like that, and if you don't get along with this person, and now everybody know you don't get along with the person, it's kind of hard to do stuff like that when people are getting involved in other people's rigmarole. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I remember thinking that about Rick Ross. Like, why is he even putting his 2 cents into that? That was really none of his business. So Baby made some comments about him recently, saying that he felt like Rick Ross was kind of taking his style from him, or trying to. He said that he would used to sit up under him and just watch the way he moved and stuff. And then all of a sudden he came out with this whole persona. As I think about it, I could believe it. I could believe that that happened, because Baby was larger than life, or larger than life image at one time, and he still is, right? I mean, I think people may look at him, the newer generations may look at him in a different way, but during his my generation, his actual time of whatever, he had a larger than life persona compared to a lot of other people. You had the puffies, right? People like that. I think Jay-Z was coming into his own as well. He really wasn't the Jay-Z y'all probably or view him as today. He was still working to that point, but it was like Puffy, and then it was like Baby, right? And so, yeah, I can see where he would say that or feel that way. People probably was watching him, and then on top of the fact they don't get along, so I'm assuming that's why he was putting that statement out there. Now, Rick Ross and 50, it's a couple other ones. Some of these men that's over 40, they do bring themselves to social media. And do a little too much, and especially when they're getting into when they're getting into this 20 something crowd's business. I think that's not okay. I think they should, is if somebody there that's their peer that came out, I mean, even though all of them are their peers because they're all doing the same thing, but somebody from their generation is doing whatever and they come out and speak on that, that's one thing. But I think, like, some of the tone where some of these old men came out saying things, including T.I., because T.I. is a grown ass man too. People may not look at him that way for whatever reason, but he is. Like, when some of these grown men come out saying things about these young girls and younger guys, I don't agree with that. That's my opinion. Even though I say stuff too, but I don't come from the angle that they come, because some of them come from real nasty angles. And then I'm not a voice. These people have voices. They have, brands and stuff. And then you're out here saying stuff about this young woman like that. I don't think that's cool. That's my opinion. Or even some of these young guys, like, they should, especially if you're not coming out here telling them to knock it off, you're not coming out here from a place of, let me help you get your game right. If you're not coming from that place and that position to these young boys, y'all need to stay off social media. I agree with Gillie about that, even though I feel like he's taking shots um, at Rick Ross, because Rick Ross had said, I guess he made some comments on, was it Mac Main's page, on another rapper's page, who was calling him out. I guess that person was calling Gillie out for whatever he was saying. His story didn't add up. Um, and no, I don't have the full background of all of that. I just, I'm just telling you guys what the information that I was picking up on. I'm looking for the video for Let me see if this is it.
They don't hear the roar of the crowd no more, and they still think the roar gonna come back. So they be on Instagram and they be on social media doing dumb shit. I just bought a cow and all this dumb. Fuck would you buy a cow?
Hey, what? You know, that's just bought a cow.
Yeah, you know I was gonna bake you, nigga. I seen you in them comments, nigga. You know I was gonna bake your goofy ass. Yeah, fuck wrong, but you don't ever comment on nothing about me, nigga. When you used to be a CEO, nigga. When you used to lock niggas like Wallow in the cell, nigga.
So,
this ain't got nothing to do with you, player. But you know I was gonna bake your dumb ass. I just bought a cow. Why the fuck would you buy a cow, nigga? You goofy ass nigga. Yeah, but
I ain't gonna
anyway.
lie though, I'm gonna keep it real, you know, them, they tried to go up on me down there, like, cause you know I made a statement and said I run a certain part of things. You feel me?
And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Fuck.
You a young nigga.
Now I'm still there. I'm a young nigga. I'm not. From
and you run it.
And we running it.
Fuck these old niggas. They mad at me because I tell them, fuck them, all you niggas pussy, you ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't said it, I said it. He ain't said it, I said it.
Okay.
All you niggas pussy, man.
Yeah, big homie Gillie. Stop playing with that, man. That spluh.
So yeah, I'm tickled by him rolling his deck. That was funny to me. But anyway, that was Southside, and he's also the guy that they were interviewing. Y'all know that's, well, some of y'all know and some of y'all don't. That's Young Miami's child's father, daughter's father, and then he's also a producer, to my understanding, or a writer. He is in the music industry on that end, right? He may be an artist as well. I don't know. I don't, like, this is not my generation, so I don't know who out here, but I know who he is. It's that much about him because that is what he's talking about in this interview. But anyway, he was saying that because he's from Miami, and he was trying to say that he's running a certain part of Miami now. You know, certain people had certain things to say because of him saying that. And I've said this 1,000 times, I think, already myself. At some point, people they do need to pass the baton. Like, and some of y'all should have moved on off into something else at this point. You know, I think it's a thing about greed. A lot of it is greed. They don't want to give up, you know, whatever it is that they still have the connections. Because when you think about the executives at BET, MTV, and these channels and all that stuff, and even at these record companies and stuff, these people are probably all a certain age, right? I think before you would see people want to bring young people in, this is how Puffy would have gotten an opportunity, right? Because he went to MCA, which was they were creating Uptown. He became an intern, and then he moved into his own thing, right? And so, just like somebody gave you that opportunity, you should be giving these kids that opportunity. You guys should be making way for these kids to come in, but a lot of it is that they don't want to. Right? They don't want to because they want to stay in those positions so they can keep jumping out, Sam Bowen and tap dancing across the stage and do all that foolery that they do, instead of just moving on into something else. Because everybody that go into that industry should already know that you're only going to be there for a season or for a time, right? At some point, the generations are going to change and they're going to come in with their own thing, and they want to be able to be comfortable when they're going to interviews. They want to talk to people that can relate to what they are talking about, right? And so then what you get is you get a lot of these old guys still acting childish as hell, right? Like I said, and they got kids the same age as some of these artists that they're interviewing, and they still in there talking crazy, like they still 20 years old, right? Instead of just moving on, right? And so I do agree. I agree with the young people on that. Even though I'm not even their generation myself, but I do agree with that. I feel like it is one thing for you to come from a place of guidance, and it's another thing when you coming from a place of foolishness. So I agree. I don't even know how old Gillie is, but I didn't know that they were that young. Honey Black, crack. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But I don't know. I didn't know that they were that young. I don't know them anyway. I've listened to their podcast sometimes or whatever they're saying, but I don't know how old or young they are. But I do agree with that. I think that there should have been some change in the guards a long time ago, to be honest. And this is why you see stuff so especially in Black music, and you see everybody else get to come and revolve and dissolve off into what we put out here, and you don't see that growth with Black people. You don't see that growth with the Black artists. Now you got Justin Bieber, who came out as a pop artist. All of a sudden now he's an R&B artist, and it's like, when, where, and why, right? And so you see what they're trying to do with that. And then all these old people, they're not speaking up, they're not saying anything because they still trying to grease their palms off or whatever. And so it compromises. It compromises the music that get put out. It compromises the artists that get to move around and get to come up. And I'm sorry that people don't like what I'm saying, but I'm just telling the truth because you can see the shit. Excuse my French. You can see it. You can see these things happening. And if people that are pretending like they don't see it, they don't want to see it because they're probably the ones benefited off of what I'm saying. That's why they don't see it. But anybody that wants to continue to see creativity grow and see, move and move in an honest way. I'm not talking about no foolishness. Now, I'm not talking about nobody out here whispering to no auto-tune. That's not growth to me. Okay. So please don't mistake nothing that I say. I'm talking about real artistry, real people that are real writers, that's pure singers, that pure in their love for hip hop and the story of it, and really want to do it. I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about all these gimmicks and the gimmicks and stuff. And that's what I'm saying, because we're so doormatted. We're such a doormat right now in Black music. It's allowing all this other stuff to spin around. Right, because nobody's really saying anything, nobody's really doing anything, and there's no real growth coming from our side. You got the same artists out here, and they're super mega billionaires and super mega stars. Can't nobody touch them. But then what about everybody else? Why nobody else get to come and sell music? Right? Why nobody else get to come and be seen on these platforms? Why nobody else get to come? And it used to be fun in hip hop. Like, I feel like maybe that's because it was the beginning, right? And there wasn't no money in it like that. So everybody was just doing it for the love and having fun. But it definitely don't seem fun now. It definitely seems like a bunch of foolishness and nonsense. And then you have these mega people, and that's fine. They could be mega, but where's everybody else? And where's everything else? Right, that it stunts the growth of everything else, and where nobody can move it. Like I said, then it just opens the door for all this other foolishness to come in, and now everybody is screaming that they R&B, and they're not singing R&B, and then there's nobody speaking up for those pure R&B artists, and then they're scared to say anything because these people control the industry, so they can't even speak up for themselves. Whatever they got going is just what they got going, and if they say something, then they feel like, well, this person got pulled at these stations, this person got pulled on these platforms, they're going to stop me. It's kind of like that Monique thing, right? With that Tyler Perry and Oprah set. That's a prime example of all of that. How these people, how you can see the people that people put on these pedestals are so respected that they can stop other people from being able to do what they're honestly good at. Like, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about Monique, but what y'all can't say is that B can't act. What you can't say is that she's not funny. And if you don't find her brand of comedy funny, you understand that she got fans and people that do feel like she is funny. So she's just not out here as no name. And she ain't just been out here all these years as no name. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to like her, but it's enough people that do like her that are going to buy tickets that want to see her. Okay, that's what there's where I'm coming from. And if you can say that that's okay to say that about Kevin Hart, then you should be okay to say that about Monique as well. Because I don't personally find a lot of these people today funny. I feel like they are connected, and that's what's making them who they are. And that's my opinion. But and that's what I'm saying. You don't really get to see the pure talent anymore. We in all of it, from comedy to movies to acting, none of it. Everybody is just there because they're a look. Everybody is just there because people are trying to, appeal to the masses instead of just doing the work. Because sometimes the masses, they follow what's hot on our side, but people have gone away from that, and they're trying to now, for whatever reason, appeal to these people And I feel like that's just purely greed and it's just purely about money. And that's my opinion. So I do agree with these guys that are saying that it's like some of these old people need to move on. They do. We get it. We got it. We know who you are. We see you sitting over there at your fat house, riding around and doing all this stuff, putting your cows out, like you said, putting your cows and stuff on your farm and all this good stuff. We got it. But can somebody else get into business now? And can somebody else make it? Can somebody else be seen? Can we see some new stuff? We don't need to see you to the grave. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not, because all the people that I grew up on, I still love them, and I still listen to them, and I still want to see them. And so that's not what I'm saying, but I feel like they respected the people that I'm talking about. They respect their lanes. They understand that they're legends. They understand there's a lane for them. So why they not out here doing all this stuff like the rest of these people? We don't need to see some of these people go to the grave like rapping and singing and stuff like that. To where can't nobody talk about nobody else but you. I think people need to take their stuff and make sure that they're leaving room for these young people to come in. And there are people that are doing it. I'm not saying everybody, but some of these people, they do need to go. That's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think about it in the comments. Because this guy, Conway, he's kind of saying the same thing. That's why I was saying it's gonna be an old head kind of conversation because he's saying the same thing about Funk Flex. So let me let you guys listen to what he's saying.
York and shit, my opinion, man, y'all gotta get them old niggas up out the way like Flex and them niggas, man. You know what I mean? Them gatekeepers that y'all got up there, man, that's trying to dictate like who you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Good thing I don't need y'all niggas, because if I needed y'all niggas would be fake stifling my growth. Y'all don't play my shit. Sus One you got on Wendy Williams show, nigga, on primetime TV, nigga, and like say it what you said. Flex, every chance you get, you said that. You gotta stand on that. We gotta get rid of y'all niggas, man. Let some new, young, really tapped in with the streets ass niggas be the DJs and run that shit up there at Hot 97, nigga, and all that shit. And I love Hot 9, but it's weirdos like you weirdo DJ niggas, and y'all niggas think that y'all run New York, nigga. Y'all is lame and clowns. I hate motherfucking the media. I hate you DJ niggas. Not all of them.
So yeah, like I said, he pretty much said what I'm saying. You can see it though if you really step back and really pay attention. Obviously, young people can't see it because they wasn't there before all this stuff happened. So they don't realize that they don't know that all this stuff that's going on today wasn't going on before. It just wasn't. Right. Like I said, I can remember I'm glad I grew up at the time that I grew up in hip hop and loving rap music like that, even as a woman, because it was fun and it was different. And it was definitely different than what it is now. And obviously somebody that is not old enough to know that or can honestly understand what I'm saying, they don't get that. They don't get what I'm saying. So I know everybody don't get what I'm saying, but so the people that know, it is time for some of these people to move on, right? And I understand everybody. You can still, social media is still open to everybody. You can still be on social media showing off all your stuff, right? You can even create, get somewhere and get to one of these people that you connected with and create the lane for y'all to sit and show off your stuff. If you need to, the show or whatever, like they used to have cribs and whatever else, get somewhere and put a little stank on it and create your own lane doing all of that. But to just sit in the industry and stop the growth from these kids is not right to me. And that's just how I feel about it. And then Funk Flex, he kind of responded to him, and you see all how the emojis, he doing all this laughing. But so I guess he's not really taking it serious like that, because he kind of called him out, but he called some other people out as well. He said that they can have a conversation and talk about it, whatever. But he was trying to, he's kind of saying that Conway is not a spring chicken himself. But that's not the point. It's like, even if he's not a spring chicken, you guys still didn't give him the opportunity to come up there to really get off the way he probably could have if it was back in the day when you used to have all these stations and have all these different DJs at the station, you know, um, who were holding interviews and holding mic night where they had people who wasn't signed yet come up and talk and perform or freestyle or whatever, you know. And then you had the clubs like that, and you had the music industry conferences and stuff. They don't do all this stuff no more. Right? They're not doing all this stuff anymore. So that lets you know that they're definitely not trying to push growth in hip hop like that, right? And then all these people coming out of nowhere, and you don't even know who they are, where they're coming from, and it's like, okay, so who decided to put this person where? You know, it's just weird to me now because you got to see people grow before, and it's not like that anymore. People are being put in position to hand select who other people probably want them to hand select. And it's just not an honest energy. That's my opinion. So I do agree with the Conway guy. And I'm not saying that Flex can't have a job. I would never say that nobody shouldn't have their job if they need it. But you know what the stuff these people know the stuff that they're doing. Right. And I don't know if they're getting paid just to do it the way that they're doing it. And that's probably half of it. Right. As well, that's the unsaid part of it. They're getting paid to just sit there and make sure you keep saying the same names over and over. Right. Because I remember when I was growing up in LA, when I started to feel the difference, you kept hearing certain artists who wasn't even from LA, their music getting played. And it's like, okay, y'all spending this person way more than y'all spending Ice Cube, but this is his home. Yeah, y'all spending these people way more than y'all spending Snoop Dogg. And it's like, what is that about? I understand the song is hot or BET is playing it, but they playing us other stuff too. So why every time I turn my radio on, I gotta hear. That's why I was happy that all this other stuff came along, because then you get to pick your own music and listen to what you want to listen to, because it was definitely some stuff going on that you could see how it was flipping up. And then you started hearing all these conversations about payola, and that's when we started learning what payola was. And it was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense what people are doing. Um, because once you make yourself look like that big artist, then all these brands want to come in and give you all these deals, or you get to pitch yourself to these people. And so it's really about money. It's not about the music. And then, so yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say about that. And then the other part, well, I think I already spoke on Baby. The other story, I should say, that I wanted to talk about was this song with Mario. And now this is not Old Head, but this is it's so that's why I'm ending with it. It's Mario just came off of Verzuz, and so people on Twitter was like, instead of him using this moment to really push himself, he is hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna put the music on. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. So yeah, people were on Twitter and just like, well, why would he take this moment to do this instead of taking that momentum and building it on himself? Like, just put your own single out with it. Why are you featuring Tory Lanez? And then people were saying, well, they feel a way about him doing it because he kind of spoke out for Megan, and then they feel some. I don't necessarily feel this way, but some women are saying they feel like he's kind of going back on what he said because he said that women should, we should protect women and not harm them. And then you turn around and you go and work with the person. Um, and this message is from 2020, that, the year that all that stuff happened. Um, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about this song? And I'm not saying he shouldn't work with whoever he want to work with. He should. However, and this is a part of kind of what I'm talking about. People are just out here doing things how they want to do it. There's no they're not paying attention to the room. They don't care what the fans say or what the fans want, because nobody requested a song between Mario with Mario and Tory Lanez. Nobody requested this. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, you're just doing this because he either paid you to do it or he asked you to do it. And so now you're looking a certain way, and you're kind of looking like you're going back on something that you said first. You already put it out there that you were on her side, in that situation by saying protect women, let's protect women, right? And now you're kind of going back on that, and you're out here working with the very person that's involved in the situation. And so it's kind of that part. And like I said, who requested this song? Like, why are people putting music out that nobody's asking you for? Why are you not just taking that shine that you got off of the Verzuz situation? Some people still talking about it even to this day, and that now is going on some weeks ago. Instead of taking that and building on that, I see that he's probably getting booked for more shows and stuff. But if you're going to put music out, it should be your own music. That's what I think. I don't think anybody was requesting a feature from Tory Lanez or anyone else for that matter, right? And you probably should be listening to what people want, because that's what's going to help you guys at the end of the day. But people are trying to use this arrogant angle that the fans don't matter, but then they get mad when you don't go stream their music, or when you're not listening, caring about what they talking about, even on their social media platforms, right? No one cares about what you're talking about. Nobody cares about what you're doing, because you're not doing things that the fans want. You're not doing things from a genuine place. You're doing it because, for whatever other reason, to make whatever other statement that you're trying to make with that. And so I think it was a missed moment. That I agree with people that are saying that he's probably doing something that he shouldn't do. The song is going to come out anyway, because to my understanding, they already have it. The song, they already worked on the song, and I think they're saying it's coming out Friday. So he's probably going to put the song out anyway. But you shouldn't expect, just because Mario is on a song with you, that everybody's just going to go running to get the song, right? Especially if the song is not if they don't deem it hot. And already a group of women are already not going to get behind this, because they don't support this guy. It's kind of like that Chris Brown thing. I mean, people can feel however they want to feel on that from whatever side, and the R. Kelly and the Trey Songz and whoever else out here with cases and with people saying certain things about them. Women don't have to support people that are not pro women, that are not supportive towards women, that do not care about women. We do not owe you guys anything when you do this. And your fan base, the majority of your fan base are women. So it's that part. It's that part that people are not getting. Mario not picking up on that. But, like I said, these people be on their own agendas about way other stuff. Or like I said, maybe he paid him to put him on the song, and just so he can try to make some type of statement somewhere. I don't know. But let me know. It's kind of like that same argument about Chris Brown and Normandy, right? I thought people were talking about certain things, but some people were just on a different agenda. Some people just, for whatever reason, want to see her not do well. And I agree with that. Um, for the people that were saying that, like some of the element in that, if they just don't want to see Normandy do well, right? They don't want to see her really become that girl out here for whatever reason, and so they're gonna complain about everything she do. But I think it's kind of the same thing in that, was that a real good look for her? Was that worth her doing that? Was that worth her taking that risk to work with somebody that women, and in particular women of color, Black women, didn't really want to see her work with? You know, and it's the same thing with this situation. Like, if you're not doing this for what is the reason that he's doing this? Like, clearly Tory Lanez wasn't your friend 2 years ago, because if he was your friend 2 years ago, you would have never put that statement out, right? Um, so yeah, what do you guys think about all of that? How do you feel about the song? Are you gonna listen to it? I'll probably just listen to it just to see if it was worth it for him to do that, you know. And I'm sure if people feel like the song is not hot, they are going to have a lot to say on Twitter on Friday. They're gonna have a lot to say on Twitter on Friday. Um, and it is what it is, because I do think that these artists need to get back to that day where people were paying attention to what people wanted and not just trying to be arrogant, like you gonna force feed somebody Tory Lanez, because you're not gonna force feed nobody nothing. You know, people have not been talking about Mario. I think that the Verzuz situation really put his name back out here, right? And so you should have taken the route of using that to to just kind of take advantage of the moment, because it may not come around again. Like Chris Rock said, some of y'all here today and y'all gonna be gone today, right? And so people get, these guards are kind of well, they're not changing. I shouldn't say that, because the guards are not changing. It's the same guards, but they are letting in who they want to let in today. They're not letting everybody shine, and they're not trying to make sure everybody is able to move around and put their music out here. You know, people are hand selecting who they're going to talk to on these platforms. They hand selecting who they're going to talk to at these radio stations. It's not about the fans, and I guess that's why these artists feel that way as well. It's not about the fans at all. They think that they're going to force feed everybody everything, um, and it is what it is. We'll see on Friday what everybody have to say about the song. But let me know what you guys think about him doing that. Do you think that was a good move for him to work with Tory? Do you think it was a good move for him to do that? How do you feel about these other stories? Now, like I said, to my understanding, Rick Ross said something about Gillie, who is from $1 Million Worth of Game. If you guys are not familiar with them, they're the host of a podcast which is also here on YouTube. If you guys want to check them out, called $1 Million Worth of Game, and a rapper by the name of Mac. When I say Mac Miller, not Mac Miller, Mac Main. Child, I forget these names. Anyway, he, I guess, said something about Gillie being fake or something, or not real, however he worded it. And Rick Ross went in and decided to add his 2 cents into whatever he was saying. And so that kind of made him just, go on this rant about Rick Ross while Southside was there. Now, Southside had a little bit to say as well. Like I said, that whole conversation about Old Headz not wanting to move along or not wanting to pass the baton is kind of an ongoing theme right now. And I feel like they should. I agree. I think that, and then the thing about Funk Flex, and I'm not in New York, so, and I'm really not a fan of New York. I'm a fan of Biggie. Okay, I'm a fan of a few. I'm a fan of Tribe. It's a few people out of New York that I'm a fan of. But as far as that, me acting like I'm not that girl, and definitely not a fan of it like that, the city or whoever, whatever. I'm not. I'm not gonna be honest. I'm not. Um, But Funk Flex is over there at that radio station. A lot of those people don't look like him anymore. That's what I'm saying. You guys, a lot of these young people, y'all don't realize what hip hop used to look like and what it look like now. Okay. And so a lot of them people don't look like you. So you really should have been preparing some young guy to come behind you. You really should be pushing some young black, and maybe you're not black. Maybe I don't even know what you are, because it's a lot of that that's going on too. A lot of people that's just not, they're not black conscious. They just used the black community to make money, and it's a lot of that as well. And so I don't really know I don't really know what he is. Just because he's dark skinned don't mean that he's black and that he care about black folk. But you should have been pushing somebody else into that lane. Y'all here getting your plastic surgery and all that stuff. So you got some money. You must got some money. You don't need to still be sitting there and everybody else around you is gone. Because I remember back in the day, like when Wendy and Miss Jones and all these and Star and Buck Wild was out there, and it was some color. It was a little color around there, and some of it might have been mixed, and that's fine, but it was a little color around there as well. And for you now, you sit at the station with non-black people, and then you're not pushing your people, the people identify you with. People are wondering why that is. And then maybe it's just time for you to go and let somebody else go up there. Right? Because see, those people that are coming in, these people that are coming in, they're gonna tell y'all whatever they want until I get in position, and then they're gonna be only pushing their own people, because they're gonna start making everything about sales, making everything about who's selling stuff and who's at the top. And that's why they're already pushing these conversations. When hip hop wasn't like that before, we didn't even care about mainstream or being pop. Like, we thought that was, when we used to call it, like bubblegum. They used to call that bubblegum. They used to call that pop lane bubblegum, all that stuff bubblegum, and just candy. Like, it was not, it wasn't hip hop. It wasn't rap. And so people liked having their own lane. But I think when you start bringing money, people dangling money over people, then people start acting real different, and they start doing real different stuff. And I'm being honest about that. That is what a lot of that is about. And a lot of these people, they're getting used to these lifestyles and stuff, and so they don't want to let go. They don't want to let go of that lane. And so, but it's stopping the growth in hip hop, and it's definitely stopping these young black people from even being able to get in hip hop. They got y'all thinking it's still black, but that man say it's not. It's really not. Even those LA stations, because there is no black station out here. To my understanding, the radio stations out here, what they do is they blend all the music. Like, you might hear a rap song. I don't listen to the radio out here. I'm just telling you what I have heard. They will play a rap song, and then they'll play, rock music and soft rock, and then they'll play old rock, and then they'll play an old hip hop song, an old Salt and Pepper song, and then they'll play whoever is out here today that they do listen to. And that's kind of how they do it out here. It's not, but as far as like a black station, like in Atlanta, they might still have one. It's not like that. And so we're moving into stuff like that. And so it's kind of messed up that it's black people that's doing it to other black people. And I'm just keeping it real. Or other people that think are black. People thinking that they black, and so you guys want to see these people. That's what I say. I don't care about. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I care about Funk Flex being in that position if he's not doing anything with it, that's beneficial to us all. It's not my job to make sure Funk Flex be the only person that eat out here. Like, he should be caring about somebody else being able to eat besides him. Understand? It don't work like that, and the rest of these people don't think like y'all. The rest of these people not doing all that for their people. Hollywood is sold up for a reason, okay? It's sold up in one direction for a reason, and that's because those people look out for their people. But the minute a black person say that, all hell breaks loose, and that's slave mentality. That's slave mentality, that you feel like a footstool for somebody else. And I'm not getting ready to go off into the young pharaoh to the young pharaoh university. Okay, or none of that. I'm just saying that's the way that mess looks. We don't have to do for each other because we so busy trying to make sure we have all these people around us that they really don't care about you, and people are acting like they don't realize there's money involved in that stuff. Because if that money wasn't there, these people wouldn't be there. Because people thought rap music was a fad. They thought it was going to die off like disco died off, right? Like people were into disco, and what else were they into? They were into disco, and it was something else that was kind of out here besides rock, because rock music stayed big and stayed heavy for a long time, right? I'm sure even some of y'all that's in y'all 30s, at least y'all remember that and growing up as kids. So rock stayed heavy for a long time, but yeah, like disco, people thought that it was just something that black kids was doing or minority kids were doing, and that it would just disappear, and then it didn't, and instead it took over music, right? It kind of took over everything now is about rap music. When you go to these basketball games, that's the music that you're hearing, when before it wasn't like that. And so it's a thing where we can't have these black people monopolizing this power lane, instead of the black people who was in the position to like, I've said this already, to really just bolt down and make it that way. They didn't do that. They don't think enough of themselves to do stuff like that. They rather sell it off. Everybody they build it up and then they sell it off. And that's kind of what black people have been doing. And that's what they're doing to rap music. And so instead of turning it over to another young black person, they sitting their ass there to the grave. While I'm gonna capitalize, while I usher all these other folks in. And those people don't care about black people like that. Like, I ain't even gonna go deep because I can go deep, but all this crazy stuff that you're hearing about some of these artists and some of the stuff they're saying out here, and they sitting in racist chat rooms and all kind of stuff like that. That tells you and lets you know what's going on. Okay, so but whatever, people can do what they want to do. I'm just saying I do agree with Conway that some of these people need to move. They need to move on because they're not adding nothing. They're not adding anything that anybody should concern themselves about. And I'm really surprised Funk Max Flex is even still there. I would think that he would have moved into some other lane, right? Well, let me get off of here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of this. Oh, I didn't play what Mario had to say, huh? Let me, since I have the video on here, I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna go.
As an independent artist doing his thing, like, it's a lot of artists that don't work as hard as he do. So, regardless of whatever, the music is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all feel about that though? Like, y'all gotta, like, it's like you still listen to music regardless of what's going on in the world, like things you don't know about. Like, the music is what you love people for. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna keep the energy positive. If y'all fuck with the music, fuck with it. If you don't, we just gonna keep creating. You know what I'm saying? If I don't know, yeah, that's it. We adding a meet and greet too. We just added it today. Well, I approved it today to be added for the show on the 29th. So I'm definitely gonna be doing meet and greets. It's one of my favorite parts of performing, and like really.
So yeah. So let me know what y'all think about that Mario situation as well. Because people on Twitter, they're not really feeling it. They feel like, nah, that wasn't the best move, Mario. Now he's talking about meet and greets and stuff. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it all depends on who they're selling this to, right? Because maybe there's people that are diehard Tory Lanez fans that are just going to go and stream it, and diehard Mario fans that are going to go and stream it. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think that was the best move for him to make for coming off of the Verzuz battle and the success of it, right? They got big numbers, people watching, and people are still watching and still kind of talking about it. Do you think that that was the best move for him to make, to go and get involved in something controversial like that, um, between that's going on between Tory and Megan? Which right now, like I told you guys in one of my other videos, it's gonna die down. The conversation dies down, and then by the time it's time for him to go back to court, it's gonna pick up again, right? And I almost kind of feel like he's using Mario, because he's scheduled to go to court next month, right? No, he's scheduled to go to court in September. Never mind. But because I'm not trying to be mean. I don't think the song is going to do what they think it's going to do, and that's just my opinion. But maybe he felt like he could build off the momentum of that into this trial date. But I don't know. But I definitely feel like they're going to pick the conversation back up of trying to make Megan look a certain way, by the time it's time for him to go to court. So, but let me know what you guys think about all of this, in the comments. Do you think that was the best move for him to make? Do you think some of these old folks need to go on about the industry? You know, if they're not there from a place of protection, from a place of leadership, right? And just wanting to really see people build that look like them, do you think they should still be sitting in these jobs and in these positions? Because all those people that were around Funk Master Flex, like I said, when I was coming up and he was still there, and he was coming up himself because he was obviously younger as well, they're not there anymore. They're not even at that station anymore. Like, Star is here on YouTube. Star from Star and Buck Wow, he's kind of here on YouTube. I don't know if he has a radio show somewhere. He probably has some grown and sexy, some grown and sexy type deal somewhere. I don't know if he do or don't, but I feel like Funk Master Flex probably need to move into that lane as well. You know, if you're not really pushing these kids and really doing the things that need to get done for the next generation, then why are you still there? Right? Because I'm sure these kids want to feel comfortable talking to somebody that can relate to their story. They can relate to what they're going through and what they're doing. And I think that's fair. That's just how I feel about it. I think that's fair because I remember, you know, older generations, they didn't care for rap music at first. And then when people started sampling James Brown, then all of a sudden everybody didn't mind, right? But you know, they didn't really care for it like that. And so, I mean, they had a right to their opinions, but we still were doing it the way we wanted to do it. And I feel like these young people should have that same opportunity. They shouldn't be stopped because it's some old person sitting there talking about, no, you can't come up here unless you're a mega superstar. And I only talk to certain people, and I only can talk to the top whoever's in the top 100 or whoever's in the top 10. You know, stuff like that, because it really wasn't like that before. And I'm not making that up. It really wasn't. Like, people were definitely trying to keep finding the next big thing, right? It was definitely, you felt that way. At least that's how you felt about it. Like this was a lane for people to come in. I don't know, child. Let me know. I understand this technology is changing that as well, because you got the academics out here, and I guess he's supposed to be that person. But to my understanding, he started off with doing the whole drill thing. So I don't even know how he got in position in the music industry anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Somebody will explain it to me sooner or later, I guess. But I don't really know. Like Charlamagne and them too, it's time for them to mosey. It really is. It's time for them to move. And they all have other things going on, so I don't really think it's a big issue if that day ever comes for them. And they're doing the right thing by doing that, by positioning themselves in other lanes. But yeah, it's definitely coming to that time where some of these people need to go. They need to start letting some young names ring out, right? And they should be the ones pushing them to make sure that they get those spaces. You know, and I just get the feeling some of these people, though, they're not going to be pushing nobody black, because you're not really seeing, you're just not seeing it. I feel like academics kind of made his own lane, right? And because that drill stuff kind of took whatever turn or lane it took, That's why his name is just even out there because of that. Because if it was probably up to some of these other people, they probably would not have helped him. They probably would not have been wanting to give him that seed. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about the old heads conversation and about Mario and Tory Lanez. Do you think that was a good idea for him to collab with him, or do you think he should have tried to collab with SZA or or Summer Walker or somebody like that? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.